Commence primary ignition.
Never find the more wretched hive of scum and villainy.
Hey everyone, how's it going? It's Dorian Kinji here. Played Cad Bane on the Book of Boba Fett on Star Wars Disney Plus. You're watching the virtual Cantina Network. Have fun.
Hey.
Welcome everybody to another week of the virtual Cantina Watch-Along. We're very psyched because we are on the march right now to the Mandalorian and Grogu, which goes to theaters in 3 weeks. Star Wars is back on the big screen, baby. But writing Grogu tonight is Jeff. How are you, sir?
That sounded wrong.
I know.
I'm good. I'm not writing Grogu. Don't put that in your mind there.
Well, I usually say writing Chewie, but
Yes, I know. I don't want to do that either. Thanks.
Okay.
But yeah.
but
I'm in the back of the N1.
Very, very excited about having this guest back at the virtual Cantina. You might know him as the stunt coordinator for the entire Filoniverse. You also might know him as the inept Deputy Scott, but we know him as JJ Dashnaw. Brother, how are you?
Good, buddy. How are you guys? Good to see you again. Thanks for having me.
Great to see you.
Oh,
Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, we're so excited. We're glad to have you back on, especially we have a lot of friends who were at the London premiere tonight and saying that, a lot of great, things about the movie. And we'll obviously talk tonight, about the movie, what we can talk about.
Yeah.
One thing
bits.
But if you have any questions for JJ, please put them into the chat. We're available on all social media outlets right now. But I do have to say that I did talk to our good friend Brendan.
Yep.
And he said, you absolutely deserve your flowers, especially for the first 25 minutes that people saw on May the 4th. So
Cool.
Congratulations on that. And that kind of can come from B is a big thing.
Yeah. He's a good buddy of mine. He's a good dude, man. Love that guy for sure. He definitely too. He definitely brings something, a vibe to the set, not just on screen, but just through the crew and everything too. He's definitely a vital little heartbeat in that crew for sure.
And I'm so happy for Brendan and Lateef to be billed as number 3 and 4 on the credits for this.
Yeah, absolutely. No, well deserved, and and like I said, those guys, they're all a special part of that character for sure. So, yeah, I'm very happy for those guys.
No,
It's interesting how many parts that actual character has, how many pieces put it together.
There's a lot. There's Brandon is the heartbeat for sure. Pedro's voice and his demeanor brings it. Lateef. His fight style is like I say.
Is that Lateef up there on the?
That's me and
waterwork
Lateef.
there?
That's me and
Yeah,
Lateef.
that's what I
We're
thought.
both going, man. Fuck this. It hurts. Hanging in that harness, just yelling at each other through the helmet because
Right.
obviously you can do that. But that's it. But Lateef is special, and I always have to unfortunately protect him because if Lateef goes down, there's like I say, there's nobody else in the world that can move the way that he does. So I actually have to tell him no on certain things as far as hitting the ground and stuff. He's like, come on, man, let me do it. I'm like, nope, Nope.
Got to keep my
Gotta
people
keep
working.
my ace in the hole. Exactly.
Well, you can always call Diddy. I mean, I'm sure he'd be okay
Oh,
on the
man.
backup.
Diddy would look too sexy in that outfit. That's
Fantastic. Well, first and foremost, we're very, very excited to talk about the fact that you will be at Rebel Scum Con this coming August, which we're excited to finally get you at a show that we're going to actually be at. But also the fact that, you're going to be there with Brendan, Lateef, like all your crew.
Yeah.
Diddy's going to be at our event. They just announced Bryce Dallas Howard as the headliner for
that's so cool.
for the con. So you guys are going to have like your crew together in Texas.
Yeah, it's going to be a big reunion, that's for sure. We've already been side texting, and I'm live in Texas, so I'm like, man, I got to show you guys around, and stuff. So very much looking forward to that. That's going to be fun. Can't
It's
come
be
soon.
great. And then B was also talking about like he wants to go to a rodeo. He wants to go see some stuff that his grandfather was involved in, and it's like it's so good. But we're very excited about that. And also, maybe we'll get you up on stage to do some karaoke.
Yeah. No, I don't know.
Sing you.
Yeah. I can better than Brendan, but that's not saying much.
No, this will be great. We're very excited. And ladies and gentlemen, if you've not gotten tickets for Boonty Eve, we are 50% sold out for our event. So make sure you come out to see us. Before we get into this as well, Jeff, let's talk about Ticketgate. Holy crap.
Oh, my God. I was glad that I wasn't stressing for the entire 3+ hours that I ended up staying online, because I had my phone with a window open, and I had 3 different browsers on 2 different computers, all with separate queue numbers. So I was doing my best to get in, and then all of a sudden one of them started creeping.
Yeah.
And so about 20 minutes in, I was in the store buying my badges, and was able to get what I wanted and not have to just like sit there and stress for the entire time, which I've done before.
Yeah.
Especially for, I'm Southern California, so San Diego Comic-Con can get pretty bad when it comes to trying to get tickets. And I've gotten to the point where I'm over that. So I was just happy it didn't wear on me like it has in other events. So
yeah, but I'm glad that the bulk of our crew got in. Celebration is 100% sold out, which has not happened day one since Chicago 2019, and that's sold out in 2 hours. So, hope if you got tickets, I'm very happy for you. If you didn't, I am so sorry, but I can assure you that the Virtual Cantina Network will have our celebration nightly news every night during celebration. That we will have the news of the day of celebration.
we're gonna have a couple of great hosts for that, and they're gonna break down all the announcements each evening after the show is over. The con part of the show, there'll be other stuff happening. We have events going on. There'll be other things around the con that are going to be happening in the evening, but we will definitely be getting that info out to anybody who wasn't able to experience it, or if you're kicking in the hotel room and want something to watch, it'll be informative in the sense that show is so big you can't see everything no matter how hard you try. So having info on bits and pieces of things that have happened in the day that you weren't around for is always nice to kind of keep up with things. So
absolutely. So stay tuned. We got a lot of great stuff. And also, as we mentioned, we got a bunch of events, including VCN Rendezvous at the new Scum and Villainy in Burbank.
Mm-hmm.
We got Boonty Eve 5, the VCN Strikes Back going to be happening, and also the Not So Virtual Cantina. So we got a lot of stuff looking forward to it. But let's get back to everything we're going to be talking about. Yep. On 11/26, we'll be giving the information for Boonty Eve 5. So we're excited about that. But so it's been, I would say, a good 5 years since we met the little green guy and were introduced to Mando, and the Disney Plus era.
Closer to 7.
Close to 7, yeah. introduction to Mandalorian season 1, and now we're back in the theaters. As somebody who has basically been on the forefront since just about day 1, what does this mean for you to now see, going from the small screen back to the big screen?
Man, I'm excited for sure. You're always nervous, just because, there's just so many people that put everything into this, but, then you also have Jon Favreau leading your crew and taking as much time as he has and putting as much effort as he has into it, that you just don't really, you feel okay about it. I care a lot about this show, and the people that make it, and just the effort that goes into it, that I just hope, not for me, there's always stuff, but for just basically the whole crew and everybody, and the audience, that hopefully everybody likes it. I'm excited about it. John seems very excited about it too, so yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, he seemed very positive in a lot of the press stuff that I've seen, and it seems like he's really stoked about getting it out there to the people that enjoy it.
I think he's done. He's definitely taken his time. I mean, my goodness, almost two years in post, so he definitely has not left anything unturned. That's for sure.
What was the mentality on set of making the feature film versus making your show?
John, honestly, because John was always there for the show, but he was there with us every single day directing, and just man, if there's one thing I've learned about John is he explains every shot, every detail, why this scene is happening, what it means to the character, and sometimes you kind of just think, all right, we get it, but then you realize, you're like, my God, I'm getting a master class basically taught to us, everybody, by Jon Favreau, and we're getting paid to do it.
Right.
So it was awesome. And a guy like that, John, you just want to work a little extra harder for, just because, to see somebody care about something that much makes you care, for sure.
So there's a lot of things that we got from, for example, if we went to the first 25 minutes, or even from the trailers, which obviously we'll chat about a little bit about. But with the change in, when I say leadership, if you will, how do you foresee the change, for example, with Dave basically now running the show? How do you see that affecting the rest of Star Wars?
In my mind, since I've been on the show, Dave has kind of run everything. He's very involved, and John is very, very, very careful about anything that he does. He's always runs it through Dave Filoni, and that's been since Boba Fett to me. I think it's nothing but good things are going to happen. Dave is one of, you guys have met him, but he is just one of the most unique individuals, and just a funny, kind human. He's got such a good sense of humor. And my God, he knows this universe inside and out.
Oh yeah. And encyclopedic knowledge, for sure.
Yes, for sure. He's funny. He'll come with an idea, and he's like, no, that's hokey. He'll just start laughing. And then, if you do, I always hope to get this. And if you say something to him, he goes, interesting. And I'm like, okay, all right. Okay, here we go. But Dave is, I think everybody is in for a big, big treat with, this is obviously his dream. He deserves it. And, I'm just glad to be a part of it so far.
We're absolutely stoked. Obviously, a lot of us are, obviously been big fans of the animation, all the way back to, stuff that he did with George for Clone Wars through Rebels. And obviously, this season of Maul Shadowlord, which is absolutely insane, that him and Sam Witwer, were very much involved with. And also, I know that our good friend Diddy was that Maroc was back in any sort of form from this. But we're very excited as well because, we've noticed that ever since, Mandalorian, that Dave likes to sneak his animation characters. And Brendan alluded to this when we had him on for the pilot of Mandalorian, is we got some great things to see from Embo and Rada coming into this movie.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, like I said, I won't say too much about it, but I think everyone's going to be very, very excited about that introduction for sure. It's cool to see how everything's kind of starting to mesh together and introduce together. And I mean, in my mind, I mean, it hasn't even really touched the big plan of what they want to do. So it's very exciting for sure.
No, it's exciting. And one thing I was liking, because I've read a lot of articles about, where this is going with the movie, and also how it touches about what's going to happen with Ahsoka season 2, is how this is very much a ground level, what's happening within the universe, whereas Ahsoka handles a lot more of the bigger picture, which I'm very excited about, like how they all work together and how they are cohesive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. We'll see that. I don't know too much about Ahsoka 2.
Right.
As that was shot overseas, but
right, of course.
Yeah. So I'm like you guys. I'm curious to see what's going to happen too.
So what was it? I'm trying to phrase it correctly, but it's obviously a very different mentality from when you have a long time to process and put something together for a feature film versus obviously the timeline that you guys had for each episodic episode of Mandalorian or, Book of Boba Fett or anything of that nature, and obviously shooting for IMAX with more practical as opposed to being isolated, if you will, in the volume. How is that mentality with the same sort of characters able to translate from that to the broader scope?
You know what? I would say, like as far as the process and like how we shot it, it was very similar. But what was different about this was we got to have the same director throughout the entire journey. Kind of before, we'd be working with 3 different directors every week. So it's like, you look at the call sheet, you're like, okay, I'm working for this guy. I got to get my mentality right for this person. This we just had with John. So we had one narrative to go after, and we had one voice to listen to and one vision basically. And it just, it just helped everything kind of, funnel down the line a little bit better. And, it was great before, but this just felt more like, it not as much of distractions and stuff. It was just, everyone was pretty able to like focus in. We knew what was coming down the line. We didn't have to, we had meetings with John, during prep all about it. So we kind of laid everything out with him through his vision. So there wasn't really any of these like questions, kind of like, how's this going to change or that. We kind of were able to prepare for it up ahead. And that definitely is a help for sure. And that kind of made it more seem like, feel like the feature. But everything else, the crew was all the same. And most of the sets and environment, obviously a little bigger, but just having John there guide everything and having, one voice basically really helped for sure. And I think it's going to turn out pretty cool. I'm excited, man. I haven't seen too much at all about it. I think I'm going to go in for the premiere next weekend. So yeah, I'm excited.
I'm very excited, especially considering that you guys had a lot, like you mentioned, had a lot of the same crew. I mean, we talk a lot to our good friend Maria Sandoval, and she was very much involved in this production as well. So it's nice to have, it was like the home crew back together to do this, and then the short forms into the large forms. It's refreshing, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know, absolutely. And I mean, there, you always, I work on so many different movie sets, and there's always these crews that, they're good, and then you have some that are bad. But this one definitely, I guess too, also leaving after finishing the feature, we're usually season after season. So it's like, all right, guys, we'll see you in a couple months. This, we haven't seen each other in a couple years. And it kind of was a bummer too. Like it's surprising how close everybody got on this journey for sure. Yeah.
Well, it's going to be amazing, especially like, obviously if you, going in next week and seeing everybody at the premiere, but also as we talked about, Rebel ScumCon, which is this summer, you're going to be spending a weekend with fans and your friends, just just laughing, having fun. Like we talked about Brendan, Lateef, Richard's going to be there.
Yep.
Maria's going to be there.
Yeah, Donald will be there.
Donald will be there. So it's going to be, it's going to be a homecoming, and one of your leaders, Bryce, will be there. So it's kind of, it's nice to see how everybody is kind of. And hey, how can we forget Paul Lee? I mean, Paul Lee's awesome. Very excited.
No, we're all excited. We got a little side, like I said, a little side text going. We're just like, yeah, we're all excited. It's funny. It's part of the excitement of it, and just seeing you guys and us and getting to get there and tell some lies or stories. It'll be good.
Well, if it's Brendan, you never know.
Oh yeah, fish was this big. It was about that big. Exaggerated.
So is the premiere in Hollywood that you're going to?
Yeah. I mean, man, I got invited to the red carpet one on the 17th. No, 14th, and unfortunately, I'm working that day, so I think they're having a few for the crew on that Sunday, the 17th.
Nice.
Yeah, so I'm going to come in for that one, just mainly just so I can see everybody.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I'm sure I'll be watching it again in a few days later with my kids, but definitely want to go watch it the first time with the crew, just so we can kind of see what we did and what we put together.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So, what has this been like? You've been involved in this journey for quite a bit, including working with somebody that you look like you had as a mentor your entire career, between you and your father with Robert Rodriguez, as we're talking about the Book of Boba Fett. But also now your career can look at Robert Rodriguez catalog, and then the Favreau Filoni catalog. How's it been that that they these two worlds that you are so heavily involved with, going back to Book of Boba Fett, have like they've intertwined, and they're interchangeable at this particular point.
Yeah, for sure. You know what? I definitely think, because John definitely has a different style of shooting than Robert.
Right.
And I, like I said, I came up kind of under Robert's way of shooting. So it was really cool for me to come over with Robert, and, I would follow Robert's lead, how he would go about things on there. But, after Boba Fett and Robert left and the show asked me to stay, I kind of kept integrating kind of our ways into the action,
Nice.
A lot more real, like a lot more, I'm a very physical guy. I don't like to cheat stunts and stuff. But I also care very much about John's way that he likes to shoot this. And I know that there's, a lot of rules in the Star Wars universe that, I had to learn. And, and I try very hard to remind my performers, to stay true to what it, what it's supposed to be, and not go way out of the way. If we have, everyone's like, oh, what if I run up and jump off this wall and stuff? I'm like, stupid. I mean, you're just basically wanting to prove what you can do. I go, not, so it's like, it's watching all this stuff. It's keeping the integrity of the show good. It's making it, the action good, and trying to bring as much as I can, but also, trying to stay true to the true rules of Star Wars. And, Dave and John will be the first ones to call me out if it's not. So I'm always trying to, make them proud. Like I know Robert, I check in with him time to time about all this too. And, he's just so stoked that I got to stay long. And, he's like, oh, I'm proud of you. You did this and stuff, to hear that from Robert Rodriguez, that's pretty darn cool.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's pretty amazing. And the one thing I love, especially about, just this universe, is that it's the Star Wars universe is in the core of everybody that's involved, whether you're a fan or if you're in the industry. But Star Wars, you're a fan first before you even get involved in there, and that how it's affected everybody's career. And if you're able to touch it at any minuscule point, it's a highlight.
It is a highlight for sure. Anytime I can get them or Dave or any of them to say, oh man, that was cool or something, I'm like, it's like just a little notch on the belt for sure.
Good validation.
Absolutely. We all need validation sometimes,
especially from somebody like that.
Oh, yeah.
both those
Oh
guys.
yeah. Oh yeah. It's
If you
funny.
can-
I don't know. Dave's a specimen, that's for sure.
Well, I always laugh. We talk about this every time we talk about Favreau. Is that to me he's always going to be Gunner from PCU. I don't know if you've ever seen that movie,
No.
but well, he plays a complete stoner.
Yeah.
And I'm just and like and then obviously Swingers and all that just and then all of a sudden going from he basically went from Iron Man, started off the MCU, put together one of the greatest Christmas movies of all time, and then basically was known as one of the people who brought Star Wars into the modern age. It's pretty amazing how his career has gone from the days of the 90s when he was just a straightforward actor to where he is today.
Yeah, I mean just to hear this man talk, it's his mind is just going in so many ways and stuff, and it's fun. It's funny, just like Dave, if you say something to him and and you see him thinking about it, and the wheels are going, and then he like starts to get on that trick, and he goes around. I'm like, man, I just started that fire right there. It's pretty, it's pretty rad. But you're right. There's some people, I'm like you guys. I saw John as an actor first before, I worked on Iron Man 2, but not as extensive as this. So I got to see him a little bit like the director, but to be in it from day one and see the creative side of what he's doing and how he puts into this. I mean, you'll never meet someone more dedicated and just gives everything into what they're trying to do, and John really cares. He's not trying to do this just so for numbers. That he really cares that people like this, and it's almost like it's one of his kids. So, yeah, you see someone care something like that, it's like it's infectious. Everybody works a little bit harder.
So I want to show you a couple of things that we're actually giving away in Texas.
Okay.
So the patch that we did last year, which is very fitting because he's going to be in Texas this year, is we got a patch of Cad Bane. So I'll make sure that Dorian gets one of those, especially since we're talking about that. But the 2026 is your boss. It's a Cad Bane.
My guy.
It's funny because I guess
Take a bullet for him.
That might have been my fault.
Yeah, a little.
I think when John was doing some press the other week, someone actually asked him how Cobb Vanth's doing. He's like, "Oh, he's kicking somewhere," and we're like, "Okay, well, he was in the Bacta tank, so we know something."
Oh yeah, that's what's so cool about them too. They do that just because they're like, I don't know if we're gonna bring him back, but just in case, let's just see him in there.
Yeah.
But it goes back to the days
Piques
of like,
everyone's interest.
If you think about it, it's like after Empire Strikes Back, Harrison Ford wasn't sure if he wanted to come back for Jedi, so they put him in Carbonite, thinking that maybe he's not going to, and he's like, well, he's got that big payday coming up, so why would he want to?
Yeah, let's go get paid again. Yeah, for sure.
But hey, it was a nice capper to that trilogy to get him back.
Definitely a nice capper. I always joke with Dave. I'm like, Sheriff, is he doing? He's like, nah, the sheriff's dead. I was like, all right.
I don't know. Thundercat was around. He would have modded you. But anyway, it's about that time right now. So please make sure you got your Disney Plus machines all queued up to the finale of the Book of Boba Fett called In the Name of Honor. I love this episode for a number of reasons because you got so many characters coming in for this. And also, these scenes in Tatooine, especially just if you just saw the trailers from the movie, this series has serious implications just on the trailers that we saw for the movie, which I'm very, very excited to see the continuity, with the Hutt twins or, just everything that, the character has been through.
Revisiting that kind of world universe,
which is it's pretty awesome. And plus also, I'm very excited obviously to see you in Texas because when we describe you, when in this show is, you rode the Rancor, man. Like to me, that's like the coolest thing ever.
Yeah, for sure. And me, okay, like
well,
But like when we were doing it in the tests and everything, and I was up there, I've never take photos on set or anything like this, but I was like just sitting there and I like looked over at my buddy. I'm like, take a picture of this dude. Like, it was pretty cool. It was pretty cool. And I honestly could not believe how good they made that head. I mean, it was wild how detailed it was. Pretty wild. I've
seen photos and video of people around it and stuff, and that's a massive piece for
it's a big piece,
a reference piece.
Yeah, and that was cool too. That was another one of my cool things about John. Like John, he's like, oh, Brandon, like Brandon can ride and stuff, but like I grew up from a rodeo world, and like he's talking about doing this stuff with the two hands, and I'm like, John, it's not cool. I go, like, you gotta like have to do this and hold the chain, and then I can shoot my gun, do this. And he's like, well, show me, and I would do it, and he's like, yeah, we're gonna do that right there. Yeah. So that was pretty cool too. Yeah, to bring that little bit of that style into how he was controlling that thing.
Awesome. So about that, so Jeff, why don't you?
Speaking of Rancors, I gotta show off my hat.
Yeah.
Anyways, all right. So it's time for the countdown. We'll bring up a little countdown, and when we get to the end, just hit your play button.
Don't go past recap.
Plus. Yeah, no skipping any recaps. We're gonna watch everything. We'll start with the Disney Plus logo, and we'll just.
What'd you say? An hour and 1 minute, 43 seconds. Is that about right? No, never mind. We'll work it out. I'll figure it out. It's gonna be great.
Oh yeah, it is hour and a minute. That's a long episode.
Yep. Perfect.
All right, so here comes the countdown, and when we get to the end, just hit your play, and they'll be golden. Here we go. There we go. So no skipping any recaps. Let's watch what led up to this amazing finale.
So obviously there's been so much since this episode, this season, everything from there. What are some of the fondest memories you have of from the beginning of when you've got involved in the project?
Man, we have done if the amount of just different stunts that we've done on this show, I mean, from high falls to water stuff to just ratchets in the walls to air rams, and I had just the best crew working for me as far as stunt people. They were like my family. I've worked for them, I've worked with them, they've worked for me. It just was like between them and the crew, just everything that we did. I mean, honestly, all the shows kind of blend in together memory wise. I would just say every single show, we would always just try to figure out, how can we top this, so it was cool. It was cool to have everyone together, just seeing, what else we could bring to it and how hard we could go.
That's great that you can revisit it with the same group. So you have that established kind of baseline, and you can be like, we're going to go from here to here to here.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So let's just say you have a project. Let's go for Book of Boba Fett, and then we'll talk about going into Mando season 3.
Yep.
Obviously,
go ahead.
Okay, so obviously you have some core people that you know absolutely that you're going to bring on. Between the two, say that they're good hands. That we talked about Paul Darnell. We talked about those type of people that I know I can bring them in. I know I can bring them in for Ahsoka, and he's gonna kill it. And I know with all the people that you work with, besides your core, what do you look for to bring on to a project from people who might not be like some of your regulars, but that they're specials of certain things that you want to bring to this project?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, to touch on that, it's funny about Diddy. I kind of met Diddy on Boba Fett. When I came into Boba Fett, I tried to keep half of the crew that was there before me and half of the people and integrated. After Boba Fett, me and Diddy just hit off so good. I mean, Diddy's worked with me not only just on this, he's worked on Westerns with us. I love Diddy very much. He's just such a good dude. but then, like slowly that original crew and my crew, I mean, we all kind of became one crew.
Right.
Like Ahsoka was definitely a little different. There's a little different skill sets with, the sword work. So obviously we've found out who the actors or actresses were, and we just went through the business trying to find out who was close and who was skilled enough. And, we tried some people out. Chow, that from Ahsoka, that Sun Devil, she hadn't worked that much at all, but she was kind of into ballet and this stuff. But she was such a good double, and she moved so good, and she was so athletic that we brought her on, and she just fit into that role so good. So it's kind of how we do it. I look at the character first, and the size and the shape of them, and then I also think about what the character needs to show. Not the actor's got the acting part of it. My job is to figure out person that can give some, that character justice, in the physical form. If someone's supposed to be a big superhero and stuff, and they look like a dork swinging a stick and stuff, it just does not work. It doesn't matter how good the actor is or actress. So, that part, it's on me for sure. So that's how we kind of do it. You got to hurt feelings sometimes if someone's just not quite cutting it. That's kind of unfortunately comes with the bad stuff in my business. But, at the end of the day, we're all here to do a job, and, got to be good.
Absolutely.
Got to keep that solid crew going.
Yeah, you'd be surprised at how hard, just these characters right here. Because when you act or do anything, you can kind of move your house. If you're doing this and talking normal, if you're doing that with a mask on, it just looks like you're just sitting here like this. It's like you're not moving. So I have to tell some people all the time, you have to over animate. If
Right.
you look at someone, you have to turn, a full head, and they think it's stupid until they see it, and then they're like, oh, okay, now I get it. So I definitely think a lot on this show for sure, in that aspect.
At San Diego Comic-Con a couple of years ago, maybe it was when I saw you, Jeff, they had the Cad Bane headpiece and the eyes and the teeth. I mean, that must have been
modular thing, right?
Very, very cumbersome and stuff for Dorian, just to be able to utilize all that contraption and just keep the characterization going on.
Oh, for sure. I've had a couple stunt guys just in stormtrooper outfits tap out because they got claustrophobic. It's
right.
These aren't comfortable suits and everything, and it's wild. And I'm trying to give out commands, we're doing big scenes, and I'm giving countdowns, and they can't hear because it's in here. So I'm having to scream. So crew members hate me because I'm screaming in there. They're like, "Why are you yelling?" I was like, "Put one of those things on, you'll know." It's definitely challenging sometimes, that's for sure.
I relate to that claustrophobic thing. I've had some cosplays that I've done. I've done some different characters. I've done some troopers and a random Mandalorian type and some other things. And I've had getting into certain suits, they start to get constricting, and then you're putting a helmet on and you're adding all these layers, and it's like, I need to be able to get out of this quickly if I start to have some kind of issue.
Oh,
and then
absolutely.
I start to freak out. It's
weird. Yeah, you're always thinking until you've been in that situation. I mean, it's real. I never thought I was claustrophobic before, but when we do fire burns, we have to put those tight things over our head. And the first time that went over my head, I had to really focus not to freak out.
Right.
So it's a thing for sure.
Some of the amazing music that they did for this show. We just heard the theme, which is actually my alarm on my phone, the Boba Fett theme.
Yes.
I love that. It's such a great piece.
And it's nice to see that the BD droids, you just saw one here that obviously is going to be a big component of the movie.
Yeah.
So very excited for all that. So here's the question for you, especially since we're going to be able to see it again in this movie. If you had a choice, the N1 and the Razor Crest, what would you choose?
This is so funny.
Probably Razor Crest.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Razor Crest, hands down.
Yeah.
It's like Brendan mentioned, it's got everything. It's not a little constricting,
fully loaded,
cockpit with, a spot for Grogu. It's the RV versus the little
100%.
A lot more compact room. Sports car.
Yeah. You don't whack around. You don't have to climb out. It's just a lot better. A lot better to work around.
Look at Grogu. It's amazing to me how far that puppet has come.
I mean, that's the whole show.
I mean, they really worked him in well, and he sold things from the beginning. But like having him on the, in a chair next to people doing interviews in this, latest round of stuff with the press, it's amazing what they've gotten him to do. It's a lot of fun.
I'll be honest. I mean, everyone's here for that guy right there.
Yeah.
Oh, easily. He's not just the whole show. He's the franchise.
1,000,000%.
Oh yeah, he's what's introducing a lot of people back to Star Wars or to Star Wars, for the first time, just because he is a great little guy.
Yeah, another genius move by John.
Yeah.
And and I'm sure that the mouse is not upset that he print screened.
Well, considering how much stuff has his face on it,
I know, right?
And then they have the $600 animatronic you can buy now pre-order.
Yeah, that's wild. I saw that too the other day. That's pretty funny.
They're going to town with Grogu.
Crazy how lifelike that little puppet is. It's pretty amazing. They did a good job on that. Legacy.
Legacy does amazing work.
Yeah, they were great. Those
do
guys
not hold back.
No.
And I love, like I said, how they've evolved that into, I'm sure they could have rested on their laurels and kept the original puppet, but they've upped their game.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
I also plug in, that they're going to be at Boonta Eve, but Dawn and Temuera, who were the two of the puppeteers for Grogu, and actually Dawn was very much involved in the Oscar scene with Kate Hudson, which was awesome, and also the most recent tour in South America. Dawn was down there operating Grogu, so you can go and talk to them about. Yeah,
those ladies are awesome. Dawn too. Dawn's. You wouldn't believe how many of these characters are Dawn. Yeah.
She's
she's
awesome. The Rhodian female for the most part.
Yeah.
And then other characters along the way.
Yeah.
What did you think about the mod squad here on their scooters? What was your thoughts of those scooters?
Your NDA over on this one, so you can say what you really.
I hated those scooters. They were a pain in the ass from the day one. Practically, yeah. And then I know some people didn't really like it either too. I'm like, man, we went through all that shit just for that.
Yeah, you can see that's fine. I mean, we call them Power Rangers, so
yeah.
No, for sure. We did. And it's funny.
What bugged me a lot about it is how they're so shiny.
They're so shiny. I know.
When you're on a planet that's got sand everywhere, you'd think there would be some more wear to them.
Yeah, like a little more like dirt bike or like Mad Max or something,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I think that would have kind of helped sell that group a little bit better.
Again, I loved it though. I loved it. It was good.
So the question from in the crowd, JJ, how closely did you work with the props team? Did you make adjustments according to your suggestions or vice versa? Yeah,
no. So Josh Roth is, oh God, I love that guy. Before he would present anything to John or Dave or anyone, he would call me first and Lateef in there, and we would just go through all the weapons with him. Yes, we love this. We love this. Can you modify this? And like within the next 30, 40 minutes, they'd have it done. And then we're like, yeah, that's it. And then he would present it. Worked very, very closely with them. Those guys are amazing. And Josh, my gosh, I mean, he definitely puts, a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into his job. So yeah, I would say that I was very close with them working wise, and like I said, collaborative. It was, from the prep, we would be talking about what weapons, height, what works for, how big a staff should be, could we do certain moves with it. So yeah, very, very cool to be a part of that with those boys.
This is such a great standoff.
Yeah.
Such a classic, Western trope. I love how much they leaned into that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah.
On this.
This was a super fun set to work at. I mean, I think we worked.
Was this in Manhattan Beach?
This was in Manhattan Beach, in the right across the street from the studios in our little shipping container yard. They it's amazing how many different sets art department made in that little area. But this set right here, this is probably my favorite. I would say out of everything that we've done over all the seasons and the movie.
And so, how much of this was practical? Is there?
I'm talking everything you're seeing right now is practical.
Really, there was no like extension done to it.
Not right now. There was in some shots, but all that right there, that was all
Wow.
practical.
That's
They
really
used
cool.
every square inch of that lot.
Yeah, some of those sets were amazing from all the different shows that they've done.
Oh yeah, the way they repurpose stuff to go to another thing. Those guys are geniuses. Yeah, all that's real. All that's real. I mean, the mountains and the deep background. That's not it, but all the buildings, is real. Mm-hmm.
Nice. Well, one of the if you want to go look at like Mandalorian season 1 to season 3, the start of how Navarro looked as a dilapidated city in season 1, and by the time of season 3, before obviously, the pirates and everybody came in, that whole battle, you saw that growth as well.
Yeah,
I mean, you saw how society,
Yeah, that was an extensive set as well, for sure. That one was a little more difficult because it was a little slipperier. So like anytime we had to do fights or run around, we had guys falling down and stuff, but visually it was awesome.
So was this you or was this Temuera in this scene?
This right here, this particular part was him. He didn't have anything helmet off that day. Basically, when I towards the end, it's always funny. You start the season, first half, it's all good, schedule works out and everything. Then the second half, it's like, shit, we need to kick this up, this to this. So they're kind of throwing scenes on top of each other. That tomorrow, he'd have to be off doing stuff, helmet off. So they'd stick me in this, and they're like, no, you're moving, you're moving too young. You're moving too young. I'm like, I'm always old. I'm moving how I move. So I had to just sit around on set and just watch tomorrow, the way he moved and everything.
Yeah.
And just try to,
Did
mimic.
they have to do anything to the costume to make you sort of match his physique a little bit better?
I'd wore a little couple, like a sweatshirt underneath, a couple extra layers. Not like fat suit or anything like that, but usually we're just like tights to this. And I have thicker shoulders, so that definitely
give you
helps,
a little more mass.
Yeah, just a little.
Because I know that when he appeared in this episode in The Mandalorian, people were giving him shit about, Dad Bod Fett. He got much more in shape for this.
He worked his ass off in this. He had a trainer there, and he would, he trained 2 hours a day. So I was proud of him. Wow. I was proud of him.
Cool,
the guy's definitely a pro.
Yeah.
He may have had a dad bod in season 2, but my God, he was a presence on camera.
Well, let's talk about that in season 2. I mean, I think that one of my favorites, we've always talked about seeing a stormtrooper get his head cracked open. And we got to see that. And it happened to be the Robert episode that happened in. I was like, those are two things that you look for in a Robert Rodriguez picture. You look at, one, did someone get their skull cracked in? And 2, where's Danny Trejo?
Yep. Well, he came.
Yeah, that's for sure. That's what everybody was speculating. Like, where's Danny going to show up?
It's like watching Sam Raimi. You're wondering where Bruce Campbell's going to be.
Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
He's going to be the usher at the theater for Spider-Man.
Yeah. That's how when Robert called, he actually called me over to his house to basically tell me he was bringing me for Boba Fett. And he brought me over as he was cutting that scene from season 2. And he was just kind of showing me what kind of language and what kind of attitude and what he's bringing. And he kept showing me that helmet crack. And he goes, I want to do this crack. And he goes, and you see how I have cameras a little lower, kind of looking up, how much bigger it looks and gives them more menacing. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's another cool thing about Robert. Robert will come over to like, hey, look at this. But he's teaching you in those moments too. So it's pretty special when you get people as talented as them, kind of giving you little hints of tricks, and I definitely learned a lot from them. Yeah, for sure.
You had a question. It says, in a previous watch along with us, you mentioned that you suited up as Mando when Lateef was on another set. Can you tell us what scenes you might have done?
Yeah, it's My stuff, when I say that I protected Latif, like if
Right.
Mando just had a straight take a gnarly fall that like that's what it was, like he got blasted back or something.
Yeah.
That's
Wasn't it
what I
like
would
some
kind of do
cable
because
work
if
or
I get
something?
if I get hurt, I can wheel myself around and still point fingers on set. Latif doesn't do it, but season 3 is when it kind of started. We started doing that a little bit, and to be honest, Latif just gets his ass kicked. Like these fights that he does, I mean, we're shooting that for 10 hours a day. So
Oh wow.
Latif is just caked. So on top of that, like I just wasn't gonna ask my friend to get hooked up to a wire and get yanked across the room and hit the ground. So
Right.
season 3, like if you ever see him just running, I think at Darth or my God, I'm losing John Carlos guy when at that end fight,
Gideon.
like yeah, like I have like they just needed him to run and to go to it. It's called a dead man, and all that is you hook a rope up to your back basically to a vest and run as fast as you can till the knot comes tight, and you can imagine what happens. You just basically go up right to your head. So I'm like, all right, Latif, this is one for me. So I would, just stuff like that. I would do. I don't want to steal any thunder from Latif just because that guy is that character. But I also, at the end of the day, had to. I just couldn't, in my right mind, have him do some of this stuff on top of the fights he was doing.
Right.
I think he's
already
also
putting so much in.
Well, I also think that Dan's kind of asking that question, which I think answers a lot of ours, because I know, for example, I'm already bringing my Fett bucket with me for you to sign in Texas because I get all the Fets on there. But now that I know that we know for sure that you had the silver bucket on, I'm bringing both buckets with me.
All
so
right.
I'm very excited about that.
Yeah, for sure. For
There
sure.
you go.
And I actually, in this one too, Pedro, he takes his helmet off for a scene in the film for quite a little bit. The snake
in the
pit.
trailer.
Yeah, when he's in the snake pit, there was a week where we didn't know how much we were going to get him. So they shot that entire scene with me, and they're going to do face replacement and everything. So we shot the entire scene before he got there.
Right.
Which was awesome because once we got him there for the whole time. But John had a week in between that to cut together like the stuff they used with me and figure out what worked and didn't, and basically reshoot it with Pedro, so he knew exactly what shots he wanted
Blocked
with
out
Pedro,
everything.
and exactly. So it just helped Pedro's time in the water not be as much. So it was basically like a week of rehearsal for when he got there. But I in the film I did that scene, and then he does the other half with the helmet on, jumping around, swimming in the water. That part was me. Latif was off fighting somewhere else on another set.
So how many different crews were there at any given time? Two
basically. Yeah. I mean, we had first and second unit going. It always started out as first unit, and like I say, after a month or two, it was full blown first and second unit.
Right.
So we had that. We Donald Mills got in the Mando suit a time or two just because we were short on bodies. Yeah, man, all hands on deck.
Got to be interesting to be.
For sure.
Go ahead.
There you go, Dan. Like we were talking about signatures needed. He just said that Donald Mills put the silver bucket on it as well. That's another signature that you need.
I'm gonna get in trouble.
No, but it's exciting to hear that, and I know that it's gonna be absolutely very interesting because I know when we saw the commercial with the helmet coming off in the movie without the context, all of us like, wasn't the last full season about him getting the helmet back on? Like,
yep.
Does he have to go back to Mandalore again?
No.
Dip in the waters again.
Don't know. Yeah, exactly. That was holy water. He was all good after the snake. He was blessed.
This is a classic scene here.
Oh yeah, this guy was awesome.
Oh, David Pasquale was hilarious, and I love the fact that he's using the Tecmo 80s bowling.
Yeah.
It was funny just watching John, and I can't Robert sitting behind monitors watching him do this and just laughing. It was during COVID, so everyone had their mask on, but you just sitting back there giggling and laughing.
But he also later in this episode, he's got like all those scenes with Amy Sedaris and the two of them.
Yeah,
a freaking riot.
It was
Oh,
so
yeah.
good. Those two together. That lady is just hilarious.
She's amazing. I love this where he's trying to read it, but he's like, he doesn't want to.
Doesn't want to read what he's in. He's like, ooh.
Is this going to get me in trouble?
Trying to say it nicely.
Blaster bolt to the forehead.
These were not fun to wear, these masks, I can tell you that.
That's the pikes.
Oh, gosh, my poor people.
Was it just confining, or was it hard?
Confining, and it was like you look
little
at
tiny
little
eyes?
panel. Yes.
Yeah, it looks kind of like it would be that way. They're very cool, though.
Yeah,
I know Phil Lamar did the voice of the one of the main pikes in a previous scene. Was he actually in that suit?
No, not that I remember.
Okay. Yeah, usually it's not the case, right?
Yeah,
It's
no.
usually,
It's
this
usually
is
afterwards.
classic. I had to put this in as the backdrop for this overlay here because I love this when you guys come in as the cavalry here.
Yeah, that was cool.
And then I was
think one of
pretty
my
sure that was you on the wire. So
Yeah, this is me and Lateef all right here. Or me and Brendan did a little, but mostly me and Lateef.
Well, when you guys did the back, like this back to back, that was you.
Yeah, that was a big one for Robert. Robert wanted that one.
yeah. Again, it's like, ooh.
But to,
Like,
to me, like, I mean, this
Look at
this
that.
lends
Back
this
to the
lends
knee.
directly to Brendan's strength and also his heritage. Because you're putting him up in a cowboy shoot off thing. We were talking about when we watched with the Jedi chapter 13 with Diana a couple weeks ago.
Yep.
The face off between Brendan and Michael Biehn was just like that's the Western trope as well. But you're up against Johnny Ringo at the same time, so he's
Absolutely
fanboying out at the same time. But
yeah, no, that's Brendan's forte, that's for sure.
Yeah, he does it really well.
He does it very well.
Yeah, I don't think this show would have been as successful had there been any other actor or stuff.
No, man. I mean, he brought so much swag to that character, And it's again like sometimes if we had to put that suit on there, all right, hey, try to move how Brendan. I was like, I can't do it.
Well,
it's a different dance.
We heard this at one time, but we try to we the way that we compartmentalize like all the different people who have played the Mandalorian. I look at it as Brendan's the Mandalorian and Pedro is Din Djarin.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. That's a good way. That's actually pretty good right there. I like that.
Yeah,
for sure. And it's kind of cool to see. It's almost like he transforms. He's like cool guy walking around. The thing. But like when he fights, he turns into Lateef. It's like it's like just like transform into this thing. It's pretty cool. I like it. I enjoyed it. I enjoy watching those boys work.
Yeah, it seems like it would be an amazing place to be around.
Yeah, a lot of laughs.
You guys get to play. You're playing Star Wars. How this is something we did on a playground when we were kids.
Yeah, well, that was a thing that Robert kind of talked about. He did animatics that were basically him and his kids in the backyard with action figures.
Yep.
For the different fight scenes that he was setting up.
Yep. Yeah,
and that's reminiscent of, like Spencer just said, all of us when we were younger.
Yeah, and our
with our figures out in the backyard.
Yeah, for sure. No,
I was thinking about the video that he did as almost like when he did the Ray Harryhausen of himself. How he was setting up the fight scene that between Boba Fett and Dawn's character, who is the prisoner at that time. And then obviously Jack Black did his own version of it on one of his videos when he did he was General Grievous. But it's great that it's like you do the stop motion like we talked about going back to the Phil Tippett era that I'm glad that John and Dave brought Tippett in to do stuff for Mando and Fett and the movie. As well, so it's very exciting to see that. And then this scene with like Carrie. Just to see another Wookiee just go completely.
Black Chrysanthemum is amazing.
Oh, for sure.
And the way he embodies the character is just.
He did good. He does a lot of creature work. He was a Predator
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Gorian Shand in season 3.
Mm-hmm. He's a stud. He's a little stud athlete, that's for sure.
Yeah, because they did that thing where you see him get taken over by the Pikes earlier on. And it's like, what's going to happen? And then when you see the guy fly into the shot. Amazing stuff.
These guys.
Here comes trouble.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we were all watching when they were explaining this to us, and we were just watching all the previews with these guys. We're just like, what? Oh, my gosh.
What kind of practical element did they have on set to represent these?
Not much. Not much. Really? They had a height for us to look at. And
it's like the tennis ball on a stick kind of thing.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, I love the Predator vision that he just had.
Yeah, I know, right?
With the heat vision.
Mando toys.
These things are like such a next level, like droidica.
Yeah,
oh, for sure.
From like episode 1 or the prequels.
And I like seeing that they in a couple of episodes, obviously, between Mandalorian and this show, bringing W. Earl Brown as the Weequay bartender that just basically takes over Freetown.
Yeah,
comes in manning the gun here on the speeder when they came in.
And then I watched something about Mary and he plays Warren. I'm like, man, this guy is diverse.
He was good, man. He was good. That's amazing. It was fun for him to talk. He's worked for my dad a couple times, or with him. We were just BSing about that. It was fun doing that when he's in that.
It's nice to have that. Oh yeah, I'm sure it's amazing to have that. Connection with these people.
It does a lot. It helps. It's helped me out throughout the years. Certain people. It's like a nice little icebreaker sometimes.
Right, and make you much more like at ease.
Yeah, for sure.
Kind of
validates you a little bit.
Yeah. Have an idea how they are going to react to stuff, and
absolutely. Absolutely.
I love the Wilhelm scream in there. That was great. Any kind of callback to original Star Wars I'm all about it.
So obviously, with the regime change really between, obviously Kathy stepping down and Lewin and Dave taking over. What do you think that, is going to be the biggest difference between how Kathy ran the studio versus how Dave is going to run the studio?
How do I say this? I think it's going to be a much more personable experience, only because Dave is so hands-on. Mm-hmm. And he's there. Kathy was here a lot for the feature film, but not, didn't see her too much during the TV, obviously, because she's just so busy.
Yeah, she's got her hands in so many things.
She's got her hands all. I mean, she is just, man, this lady. She's impressive. But I just think, like I say, it's just going to be like, the guy there all the time, and when you have that person there, it really helps just because you're not guessing how, make sure that you're doing the right thing or anything, and you got him there and to help and guide everybody along the way. Just helps everyone do their job better, because nothing like, trying to do something and hope it's the right thing, that where you're trying to tell the right story.
Right.
And get news, 2-3 days later,
Yeah, exactly. Not having to do it and then get the notes after the fact.
Correct. Yeah.
Give me some pre-notes.
Do you think Lucasfilm is going to benefit by splitting the position so Dave could just be there for all the sets and be involved with all the creative and not have to worry about running the studio?
I think so. I really do. I don't see, I for the show itself, I think this was a great move for sure. And an exciting news, move. And I'm very excited, like I say, I hope I'm a part of it. I don't know where they're going to shoot everything, if they're going to keep everything overseas, but it'd be rad if they brought it back here. And, like I said, I'd love to see be a part of the new system for sure.
That spin move was awesome. I'm sorry.
So it's so cool. Felt a little sad for a lot of people when they decided they were going to put production in England. And
oh man, it was a gut punch for sure.
Such a great group of folks that Or
Yeah, that have
based
been
out of.
done it. Like they created the show together. Everybody,
Yeah.
So it's yeah. I mean, there was a lot of people. I mean, including myself. I came on late, but man, I was super bummed.
Right.
But
Like,
again,
we just got
kudos to
here.
John. Kudos to John. He's like, screw that. I'm not going over there, and we'll just make this a feature. I mean,
Yeah, there you go.
But the
I
thing
found
is
it
that
interesting. Go ahead.
what I'll say is that, don't get me wrong, I love the storylines and the filler content that we got from the Disney Plus era. I hope we
Yeah.
continue that. But there's nothing like being in a theater with 300 diehard Star Wars fans, and a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away comes up on the screen and everybody's losing their freaking mind and cheering and laughing and throwing lightsabers up in the air. There's nothing like it. Star Wars is at its best when it's a communal theater like property.
I agree. The only thing I could kind of explain or compare it to, and it not even on the same level, but when I went and watched Top Gun Maverick in the theater, and just that opening, dong, went like the entire theater just like erupted. It's just like
that's a great flick.
Everyone's there together, experiencing something that they've had their whole life or from a childhood. It's like it's just exciking.
They did that. They did that movie right. Like
I was very, very impressed. I didn't think it was
you could take. Yeah, I mean, you could take an '80s movie into a sequel 30 years later, and shit the bed. And did it. And now I'm intrigued with the fact that they announced another one. They're doing a trilogy out of it. They had time to to make it to simmer with Maverick. I'm intrigued how it's so close, how that's going to have the same
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. And I also was kind of impressed by them. It took them forever to get that thing done, so they definitely shot it a few different times, and it was cool that they fixed what wasn't working. And I mean, I'm sure they're proud of the final outcome. But I haven't seen a sequel like that from such an iconic movie hold up. I don't think ever.
No, it was to me like. When you're like we were just talking about, you take a property that we've known our entire lives and it disappears for 30 years, and all of a sudden you got this. Your Maverick was great. To me, like as far as you want to go, cable or streaming television show, Cobra Kai was done right as far as keeping to that. And I'm intrigued. Next year we got Spaceballs. Like
yes, I tried to get on that one. Not gonna lie.
As you should.
That would have been fun.
I did see that on May the 4th, Josh Gad was at the Academy and did a showing of the original movie. So
that's cool.
Yeah, but I'm intrigued by that because we've been waiting since '88 for Spaceballs 2. So it's kind of like
Hopefully they do it right.
Yeah.
Here comes the man on the mount.
Yeah.
Oh, we saw that ham. We're like, oh man.
Yeah. This has got the way that they did this whole scene with the whole like King Kong vibe.
Yes. Oh, that's all. Amazing. That's how they were explaining it in prep and everything. That's how they wanted to
immediately when I was like, holy shit, this is first you got him riding it, but then when he starts climbing everything, it's like, that's King Kong.
Oh yeah.
Well, that's why when we did our London Racer, we had the Rancor climbing Big Ben like it was freaking King Kong.
Classic.
So good.
But I mean, going back to like Empire Strikes, I mean, Return of the Jedi. I mean, the Rancor was always just so freaking badass, and now they're just going seeing going ham like in a city as opposed to in an underground cavern. It's just amazing.
Kind of trapped in a cave.
Yeah,
and of course, the technology's come a long way. And
yeah, no, it was cool. I mean, I'd say for this whole season, I mean, this part right here was the coolest. And then, they had me come out of the pit, as when he's, it's
digging out of the sand.
Yeah, and it's like I was like, this is pretty freaking cool because I didn't know a whole lot about Star. Like I watched it as a kid and everything, but I remembered that. I remember when he went down there. I'm like, this is pretty
Right.
freaking cool that I'm the
yeah.
guy that climbs out of this right now.
Yeah, that was a fun reveal.
Yeah.
Speaking of the Academy, I was just at the Academy Museum watching Empire Strikes Back with an intro from Billy D, which was really, really cool.
Oh,
That's awesome.
And
sweet.
he was doing great. Answered a bunch of questions and was having a lot of fun up there with the
Is he charismatic?
Yeah. He was I've seen him other times and he's goes through kind of phases, and he was definitely on the up there, so that was really cool.
Yeah, good.
And it was fun to see again the old school, original trilogy movie in the theater with a theater full of people. The guy that happened to sit next to me was a little bit over enthusiastic, but I could feel it, so that was cool.
Okay, so we got a very interesting question. Without disclosing any new characters, were you any of the new snow troopers that we saw in the trailer?
I'm trying to think. No, not in this one. Nope.
Okay. There you go, Dan.
Pretty sure. Yeah, I'll get back to that. I'll think.
That's the other thing, though. The introducing the different troopers is.
Oh man, these new outfits are so badass.
Yeah, I mean, you had stormtroopers, you had death troopers, which is a great callback to Rogue One. Then you had the speeder bike troopers pounding on Grogu.
Yeah,
and now the Hoth troopers. It's a great kind of rounding out of the troopers.
Yeah.
And
they were cool.
About, like I said,
forever to see those things. Those things are pretty badass. That whole opening scene. I mean, man, we had a blast shooting that thing. Just coming up with everything and getting creative with John. It was fun.
All right, AT-AT or AT-AT?
How do you say it?
AT-AT.
Yeah.
AT-AT.
What did John call it?
That and I messed it up a little time. They're like, what? And so they like gave me lectures on set. You know what I mean? You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
This is amazing stuff right here.
Yeah.
Considering how flashy the mod squad is, they handled themselves pretty well.
Yeah, they did. It was a mix, a couple actors, and then a couple of them are actually stunt people that I've worked with for a while. That they did a good job.
Cool.
Yeah.
But here's this, talk about Jeff, like when we were kids and we took the Kenner Rancor and we put him into scenarios that he did not belong in at that particular time, just going crazy. And all of a sudden we have him going against this like super droidica. This is like what we played, what we do with our figures, This is exactly what it is.
Yeah, I'm fighting RoboCop. Your RoboCop.
There you go. Exactly.
Yeah. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Terminator droid.
Yes.
The T1, was the one from like Terminator 3 that was kind of like almost like you're talking about the RoboCop. And he just sticks his thumbnail in his eye.
Yeah, that's great. As long as it wasn't the droid from RoboCop 2, that was just weird.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. Yeah.
I mean, Ed 209 was very imposing, and that was great in the original RoboCop. But
yeah,
their update was a little off, but it's still fun. Still fun.
Watchable. Still watchable.
Oh yeah.
I love that. He runs out with the kid in his hand. And he's just,
I know.
Just firing.
Yep. I got you, kid.
Not even head tails.
So good. There he is.
I love how much people have embraced the Pelimato character and seen a lot of great cosplays of her.
What about in Japan? Our usual co-host Dave, dressed as Dave Filoni, he wore the cowboy hat. He had a Ahsoka Lives T-shirt, and he did a whole thing at Star Wars Celebration Japan, and it came down to him dressed as Dave Filoni.
Oh, the thing on
versus
stage,
someone
right?
who dressed as Paley Moto. And it was hilarious. She did a really good Paley Moto on that one.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. Some of the people they brought up for the different panels were really great. So
Nice.
Yeah.
Look at that squish.
Ate him.
Yeah.
Oh, and here Dorian's back.
Yep, here he comes.
But I love it, the fact that, that when he's eating that pike, it's back to like when you ate the Gamorrean in
And
Jedi.
Yeah. Yep.
He's eaten a couple of them, so
a lot of little throwbacks.
But we were talking about this before. It's amazing also the pedigree that Dorian has with his mother being Lindsay Wagner.
Bionic Woman, man.
Yeah. Dorian, he definitely comes from a rad family. His dad's a legend in my industry, the stunt world. So,
is that how his parents met? Was like on Bionic Woman?
Probably, probably at some bar somewhere. Who knows?
This is so cool that he did the callback to the Clone Wars. Like, I've known you for a really long time.
Yeah,
it's just like the storyline, the continuity.
This was all. I had to do all this. I was so nervous.
Oh wow.
Well, yeah. Got Robert out there. He's like, "Listen, this is all you tomorrow." I'm like, "All right, Robert."
So one of the things that we heard in interviews with John is that you really don't need to have watched this series, but it doesn't hurt. Would you say that going into the movie?
Yeah, for sure. I think just to appreciate all the little characters, maybe, but like, yeah, storyline. I don't think you're gonna be like, wait, what? Like, it's not. I think he hit it perfectly. I think it definitely helps, so you can get opinions of certain characters, maybe.
Right.
But yeah, no, I think he's.
Well,
I think
that's
pretty true.
Having that entryway that you don't have to follow up with all the stuff is probably the ideal way to do it.
Yeah, for sure. This is a very confusing universe to follow. If
right.
Yeah.
It's that guy from. Yeah, it's the guy from Parks and Recreation with the math and.
It's like connecting a serial killer thing on the board. All the lines.
Sunny, yeah. Helmet's off.
Yeah. Now this is they wanted to put a bald cap on, so this is when I had one of my guys do it because I was not sitting in that chair for 2 hours on his back. This is obviously him, but when he comes up, that's a good part about being the boss. You can say no.
Yeah.
No.
Pick and choose.
You kid, go do this.
Was it Eod or someone else?
No, it was Scotty Lang. I don't know how much. Who should be in her universe? He's played every character known to man on this thing. He's been in the Mando suit for a time or two, but he's done every little character. He's been a Pike. He's been everything.
Ooh, there we go. I love Temuera with the gaffy stick. It's just
No, he did
good.
Like
we said, ever since that episode that he did for Robert and Mandalorian with the gaffy stick.
It was very important for him to have this thing right here. Yeah.
And he helped design it, I heard.
Oh yeah,
right.
Oh yeah,
yeah. They
bring his culture
it.
into it a little bit. It was cool. Yeah. It was cool to watch him go. He definitely put some heart and soul into this.
But also bringing him in as Boba after being Jango was huge. Supposed to be a clone. I mean, okay, so
so we know what Daniel's going to grow up to look like.
Yeah, exactly. but we just talked about Cad Bane. Like, you see that his light is still blinking. So like. Does he have two hearts like the Grand Inquisitor in Obi-Wan?
Good.
But the thing is that talking about. I mean, we love Daniel Logan. He's a phenomenal asset to the fandom, and would have been great to see. But the fact is that Temuera was right to play Boba based upon the fact that he was Jango. If you're a clone, he should look that way.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, and I know there was a lot of speculation early on about would Daniel actually show up in this series, and where would it be? It was interesting how they basically just reused episode 2 footage, but it worked out really well.
Mm-hmm.
Well, but also if you want to look at the fact that when Rosario was cast to play Ahsoka as opposed to bringing in Ashley. It was right for the character that needed to be done for the job in the series. Not to say that Ashley couldn't do a good job, but the thing was Rosario is older Ahsoka.
No.
I love this. He tries to eat the head. I know. That's amazing.
Yeah. Calm down.
That helmet's been through a lot.
For Beskar, yeah, exactly.
It would have been great if he lost a tooth.
Yeah.
Yeah, that actually was
just
like
spit it
broke
out.
the tooth. Yeah. Hey, see.
Oh, dang.
He's eating some hot wings.
Yep.
He's like, fuck you.
Yep, exactly.
These two they play so well together here.
Yeah. This turned out it really this scene turned out a lot better than I thought. You always wonder because how it's gonna all look.
Yeah.
No, but then the kid goes in and you're like, oh god, he's gonna be a chicken nugget. Like this is
this right here. Boom, boom, boom. It's so funny watching Menzel walking behind his little gray suit, puppeting.
Doing the puppet
around. It's funny.
I'm sure it's got to be surreal to be on that set with those elements,
involved. Man. Well, you just see, like you said, you see everything that goes into it. You got them doing that. You got Dawn off on the side with the remote control, controlling his face, his eyes.
Yeah,
it's amazing. Everything. It's amazing.
I love this whole calming thing.
Mm-hmm.
But it's amazing. Like we talk about Dawn and Temuera and talking about that crew of at Legacy that they're, they make the creatures, they fabricate the creatures, they act as the creatures, and they're just one-stop shop, and they're just incredible talent.
They are, and they control so many of those characters too.
I mean, kudos to John Rosengrant and everybody over there. It's just it's just so good.
Well, things like Kuehl and his, it's obviously it was Misty in the costume, but that head, was all them. So that kind of stuff is amazing. The combination of the physical actor and then the puppeteering. Look at that. Time to take a break. Oh, now
go to sleep.
Should hear like a big sleepy rancor
and little guy.
Yeah.
I guess it's not going to be a barbecue.
I love this revisiting the helmets on the spike thing.
Yeah,
because that was like one of the first scenes
I've seen you
early on.
Yeah, they're good about detail.
But that's like, but for that looks like season 1. I mean episode 4 Stormtroopers.
Oh yeah.
So what's interesting about this as well is Phil Lamar voices 2 characters in this scene. He's the Pike, and he's also the Trandoshan.
Mm.
Uh-oh.
How much of a badass is Ming-Na?
Ming-Na is yeah. She's cool. She was fun too. She's what a lady. What a lady. She definitely, when she comes on set, she steals the show, that's for sure.
I mean, I loved her ever since, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., seeing her as Agent May, Calvary. She was badass there. So seeing her in this, and then obviously, we're big fans of Diana Lee and Santo.
Yeah.
Her background.
Yeah, she comes from a pretty awesome family.
It's a few notaries,
Yeah. Yeah.
Look at that. She's sneaky.
Oh yeah.
I love that helmet design too. Some great stuff that they did.
It was good. Yeah.
Well, that kind of here we talked about before. Her helmet very reminds Zam Wesell from Attack of the Clones, the bounty hunter that was trying to kill Padme.
Right.
How to try a similar design.
Practical droids, gotta love them.
Oh, the Gonks.
Yeah, that Gonk droid can tell somebody just wearing a bucket.
Yeah,
Josh Roth loves his droids,
as he should.
as he should.
But that's one of the things that I absolutely loved
There's that
about
theme again.
this whole universe, in particular, that Dave and John have done, is they took the figures. They said this purposely. The figures that your brother would give you as a hand-me-down because they want to keep Luke and Han, and they gave you the Ugnaught. They gave you, the
IG-88 droid.
the IG-88 droid, and also, or even what was Zero, Chris Bartlett's character in the first one, but like, there's all these figures, and then so we're gonna make something of those.
Forlom and Zuckuss.
Yeah,
style
Forlom and Zuckuss.
characters.
You're gonna, these are the figures that we got because our brothers were jerks. And it was just great, like we were talking about. It's great to have Black Chrysanthemum, being a comic book character, as opposed to anything else type of character.
Yeah. When this he was going to be in when we were going to be season 4 instead of a feature, we had all these guys in there. The Chrysanthemum, Boba.
Wow.
So it was cool to see how he pivoted. When he wrote the feature.
Well, I'm glad they ditched this ship, although it does look amazing, and it's great having how they have Grogu up in the bubble, which wouldn't have it would be a droid.
I can promise you, it was awesome though watching Brendan climb in and out of this thing. JJ, help me! I said, nope, you got it.
He's like, they made this for little Anakin. They didn't make it for me.
Exactly.
No, but I'm excited about that. So we have to ask this question: how was it to work with Sigourney Weaver? Like, was that like a bucket list for you?
Yeah, she didn't have any action. So I was on another unit, but we're on the same lot. I, of course, peeked in on set.
Right,
peeked in on set, and just, it's like you just got,
Yeah, you gotta see what's going on. Right?
I got to work with her though too on Avatar originally. So
great.
Oh, nice.
I got to I've been lucky enough to see that. That's what's so rad about our business sometimes is some of the people you get to meet. People you've watched since you were a child. Yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah.
It's Ripley and freaking Zool. I mean,
I was extremely happy when last year at in Japan when they were doing the live stage and they brought Sigourney and John out.
Yeah.
And when they were getting up to leave, Sigourney was, waving to everybody and she blew a kiss. I felt it was at me.
Oh, for sure.
in my general direction.
Eye contact, for sure. She made eye contact, bro.
Well, yeah, she did. Actually, I have it on video, so I have proof.
That is awesome. That is awesome.
No, but it's nice to see someone like so like renowned, and it was not like a Star Wars fan per se. She knew it was Star Wars, she knew the show, but when she got the gig, she went back and watched it, and then like fell in love with the universe, which is awesome.
Yeah, that's really cool. Oh, who do we got here?
Ooh.
Oh, we got to repeat JJ. Hold on.
Was blinking at me, low battery.
Okay, well let's do a.
I switched over to my phone. I'm good now.
All right,
Okay,
there you
go. We go. No, but it's nice to see the love of some of these actors. I mean, for example, there's sometimes you could see an actor come into a property that's so beloved, like Star Wars.
Oh yeah.
And then you see someone, okay, you got the hokey, like when you had Jack Black and Lizzo. I'm just using that as an example.
Oh,
very
for sure.
Campy.
That's very campy, very schlocky.
Yeah, that was weird.
Yeah.
And it was probably very intentional to be like
that. I think so.
But also, Tim Meadows, to me, I was like, okay, but then you got Sigourney, and it's not to you. It's like, okay, Sigourney Weaver, but you're looking, and you're like, that's not Sigourney Weaver.
No.
Whereas we see Jack Black or you see Tim Meadows, you're like, no, those are very distinct people that you can't pull out of
Christopher
that.
Lloyd was very Christopher Lloyd.
Oh yeah, that was cool. Yeah, that was cool when he worked on that. No, it's cool. You get these gosh, these huge actors, these big time actors, they're excited. They're stoked to come work on this too, because it's everyone's childhood a little bit, and then
Yeah.
we're here making it. It's awesome.
Well, it's great that they respect the the franchise, as it were. So they're not just there for the paycheck kind of thing.
Oh, and another person that you're gonna be happy to know that will be at Boonta Eve is we got Frank Trigg coming to our event.
Frankie boy.
Yep.
He was
Yeah.
just in this episode. Wasn't
Frank's a legend. Frank's a legend in the MMA world. A lot of people don't know that, but he is a badass.
No, very stoked to meet him and have him and Diddy at our event with Don and Temuera and a whole slew of really cool people. We're very excited about Boonta this year and everybody involved. So first and foremost, JJ, thank you so much for joining us. What are you hoping that fans take away from watching the movie?
I just hope everyone's entertained, and it's like, everyone's so quick to be a critic, these days with films. I just really, John has definitely put together this movie to entertain people for sure, to wow people. I know he put a lot of time into the visual effects. I just hope everybody's entertained. A lot of blood, sweat, and tears went in this from every department, and I know no one worked harder than John. So I'm just hoping for the crew and for the Star Wars universe that everyone's happy about this one.
We have a lot of friends that worked on this show with at ILM.
Yes,
and they've all said to me how much work and love they put into this project in particular. The fact that they were able to go from the television show to the movie and continue the work between the two, it's pretty incredible.
It's pretty incredible. We were fortunate enough to have Ian, a new producer, come on this year with us. And this guy is such a pro, and I would check in with him, these last couple of years, and he's like, "Yeah, buddy, still in post and visual effects." So there a lot went into this one. A lot went into this one, more so than the TV shows have, for sure. So I think everyone's going to be pretty excited and pretty pleased with the final product.
Did you do any of the scenes that took place in the that bar where we got to see Dave and the other directors in their characters? They were in a bar.
Well, the Adelphi base bar that they utilized in the movie. Yeah.
Meets with Mando in the new movie.
I'm not hearing my man. Is he saying something to me right now? I'm not hearing him.
He's wondering whether or not, because I know the Adelphi base where Sigourney's character is there, and that's the same set and everything that they used in Manhattan Beach for the Mandalorian season 3. I think Jeff was asking, were you involved with any one of those scenes, or were they just mostly like, no stunt coordination? Or
there wasn't much in that one for us. I had a couple of my guys, my regulars, playing little characters, so I was there to check in on them. We actually, one of my guy riggers, his name is Zach Henry. He's a huge Star Wars nut. So I got him in that scene, and we came up with this whole hoax that he had this dialogue to give to Mando as he walks by, and we did research, and we found out this line. Sorry, hang on, Gigi. No, sorry, my dog's yelling or barking. But we figured out how to speak in Huttonese, and we gave him these two things. So we once we got to see and everything, we're like, okay, let's do it that one way. We made him audition for it. It was, to me, it was one of the highlights of the show, just because, God, he went for it and everything. He learned the language, and he was so pissed when he found out that we were messing with him. But he's also like, thank you, dude. I was so stoked to be a part of that. So that was funny. That was about my involvement in that scene. It was just kind of nice. In a disturbance. Yeah.
No, but the fact is that you get to play in this playground that it's even if you're effing with somebody, you're like, but I have an opportunity to actually live my childhood dream.
For sure. And that's why it's so fun. That's why, again, it comes back to the crew, just like we're all just like family and stuff. So there's a lot of fights, a little bickering and stuff, but at the end of the day, yeah, probably one of the closest crews I've been with in my career for sure.
Amazing. So, do you have anything that you're currently working on that you want to promote, or anything in that besides the movie?
Yeah, no. I just got done doing a show called The Rescue that's going to come out on Paramount Plus, and that was awesome. I actually got to work with my dad and my brothers worked for me, so it was cool to have the whole family down there. That'll be cool when it comes out, but yeah, the other stuff I'm still don't want to talk about it yet, just because it's still super early. Yeah. But no, that's about it for right now. I think Mando's big enough stage for right now. That's for sure.
Oh, it's exciting. It's exciting. It's an exciting time to be a Star Wars fan because, like we talked about,
for sure.
Star Wars is back in the theaters, and we got between this and we got Starfighter next year.
Yep.
Which got some early buzz going on with it ever since Japan, but even just conversations that I've had with people since then. It's just that there's a lot of people who are looking at that and looking at this as we want to see more, and we're going to want to see more of these characters. We're going to want to see more expansion.
Yeah, man. Well, we definitely want to make more, so we're hoping it's a success.
I think people are looking forward to.
That's the plan, anyway.
Right.
Because of Project Hail Mary.
They definitely have a plan. They've made some moves.
Well, the fact that a lot of this stuff is, so if you want to look at, for example, at Disney as a whole right now, and you want to look at the fact that Josh DeMarco is now the CEO of Disney, and he ran the parks, and now he's running the whole entire company, and he sees where Star Wars is going, especially from the parks, and where it's going to be. I think he has an idea, because I think he sees not only like the benefits of, obviously we talked about Grogu and the fact that he's money, you put his face on it and people are going to buy it.
Awesome.
But also the fact is, like, the changes that they're doing over in Galaxy's Edge in LA, making most of it original trilogy now and changing that up a bit. They're really honing in on the core fandom, what started Star Wars, and bringing in elements of everything in between. That's just going to make it, I think, a stronger thing, that they'd be smart to keep these things going. It's like you could say, well, all right, maybe the Book of Boba Fett was a chapter in this story, that it didn't need anything more. That it didn't need to be a season 2, because it served its purpose. For
no, it is, and I know that's the plan for them. I don't know the full plan. I wish I did, so I could fill you guys in a little bit. But I know, like every single thing they do are right. It's for a bigger picture that is yet to come. So that's exciting, and I'm excited to see how all these different storylines come together at the end, and I know that's what they're working towards.
So
I'm excited for that.
Obviously, we are all looking forward to eventually the Dave feature of what we fans are calling Heir to the Empire, which is not the book, but we're calling it that. As somebody who has been involved in this, where would you like to, or what would you like to see from a Star Wars Avengers kind of, because that's what it's leading to.
It's leading towards that. That's what they always kind of say. It is. It's like an Avengers. It's like all these guys are going to come together and for like one final huge big deal. That's like the big hoorah. Like that's what everything's working for. That's what all these chapters are for. That's what all these different shows are for. That they're not just a different story. Like everything ties into each other, and it's like I say, I don't think it's like 1 or 2 away. I think, I'm hoping it's 10 or 12 shows away, so we have more, all this different content, But I know in their head they have it, and they're constantly like every little thing, every droid means something. It's crazy.
Well, for us as fans, after Return of the Jedi, the first thing we had was the Timothy Zahn books of Heir to the Empire and his trilogy, which introduced Thrawn. So we were waiting for years for Rebels Thrawn into live action Thrawn that we got in Ahsoka. And the fact that he's basically now the galaxy big bad as we're getting towards obviously the sequel generation in 20 some odd years in the timeline, it's amazing to see how that particular character is. I mean, just bringing up his name in chapter 13, we talked about Rosario's entrance with Diana. Where is Grand Admiral Thrawn? And then the Shadow Collective talking about in season 3, oh, Thrawn's coming back, and Barry's like, what is he? And now after Ahsoka, he's back.
Yeah,
it's we're seeing our entire generation come together, and
for sure.
So we're coming up on the 50th of the saga next year in 2027. Not just the 20th of the movie, the original movie, but the 20th of the entire 50 years. How does it feel for you to feel like not just a career, but as a fan, that you had a part of the current incarnation of the 50 years of Star Wars as a franchise?
I mean, I've always prided myself on being humble and, trying to downplaying stuff. But I mean, it's history. It really is that we're being a part of. And it's, I'd be a liar if I said it. It's every once in a while I just sit back and, I think about what I'm working on and stuff. And it's like, this is pretty freaking cool, man. This is what I've been wanting to be a stuntman since I was 8 years old, not necessarily for like just Star Wars, but for big movies and stuff, and just to be a part of something, not for the fame or anything, but just to kind of be a part of it. And like, this isn't just a one-off movie. This is like something that people have put their lives into, so it means more. It definitely means more than other stuff that we've worked on. It's pretty special. That's all. I get giddy for sure thinking about it. It's pretty cool.
Awesome. So if anybody wanted to reach out to you and just, talk shop or anything, then where on social media can people find you?
JJ Dashnaw. I've been better about, I keep it private just so it doesn't, but I accept if it looks like if anyone that's, in this world, I accept it and stuff, but if it looks like a spammer or something, I usually don't accept. But yeah, do that and I reach out. I'm good. I answer. I'm friendly.
Yeah. No, we're absolutely stoked to see you in Texas, and
man, I can't wait too. I'm excited to see everybody. It's gonna be fun for sure. It's gonna be hot, so be ready for that.
We were there last year, and we contest, and I have to say, and I'm going to say this publicly, is when your appearance agent Mike messaged me that you were working with him, I'm like, okay, that's freaking cool, because I'm a huge fan of Mike, and you're in very good hands with him. So he's
awesome.
He's the freaking man, and we've done a lot of work with him in the last 2 years. And
I'm excited, man. It just hasn't really worked out like in the past, and like this one, it's even with the stuff I have coming up, it seems like it's all lining up. So I'm excited. It's we've been trying to do this for a couple of years, and
I know
it's gonna be fun, bud.
That's a good one. So once again, JJ, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me, guys. Yeah, you guys are awesome.
And we appreciate it. We're stoked about this movie. Star Wars is back in the theater in 3 weeks, which it's
excited. Back, man. It's back. I'm excited too. I'm excited for everyone to see Embo too. I'm pretty excited for that character.
Well, he was a badass in the cartoon, so
he's badass, and he's even badass. And like the guy that we got, my guy Donald Mills to play him. He's a freak. Freak athlete in the way he moves and stuff. So I'm excited. Probably more so about new characters. That one for sure.
So here's a question that without giving too much about from the the actual storyline of that, but so there was a character who was kind of a throwaway, jokey type of character in the Clone Wars, and then now basically turned into this.
Good old Rada.
You guys are gonna like it.
Really?
You guys are gonna like it. Some cool stuff. One of the more difficult things is coming up with a fight with that character, but we had the right guys and the right tools, and it's gonna be very entertaining for sure.
One of the things I was excited about is when I was look through that, and obviously you had the characters of the Jarek board from the original movie as actual creatures, but the stadium floor was a Dejarik board.
Yep. Oh yeah. No, we were on that set for about 6 weeks. That was it was a big part of the story for sure. That whole scene was in that was going to be in season 4. A little different storyline, but that was part of it for a year or two before we did the film, just when we were starting to talk about season 4. So it's a pretty cool scene. We did some really rad stuff. You get to see Lateef do his thing, and you get to see Rada doing some fun stuff. It's fun coming up with a fight with a slug, trying to figure out how he would move, and we'd incorporate like big old sea walruses, how they move and stuff. So it was a lot went into all that too. A lot of research.
Was Rada always considered for this, looking back at season 4, or was that something brought in for the movie?
Yeah, no. So he was there in season 4 as well.
Awesome.
Yeah,
we love Stinky. We love.
I know we do. Yeah. This is he's not quite as gross as the other ones, but he's still.
Yeah, we got
That's so good. That's so good.
The evolution of Stinky.
Man.
We saw a bunch of videos with they had a lot of influencers go to John's studio, and they saw the little maquette that he painted of Stinky as a reference point, and I'm just like, man, they're really taking Easter eggs from the cartoons and just making it live action and just making it
for sure. Yeah, no, absolutely. No, I really do. I think you guys are going to love this thing, and I'm excited for everyone to see it.
Awesome. So once again, JJ, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you much for joining us.
Yeah, thanks everybody.
It's going to be a great... Oh, yes. Don't forget, we are brought to you by New Hampshire LASIK Associates. They are the event sponsor for Boot to Eve Texas 2, the Electric Boogaloo, that we're going to be doing this summer. And don't forget, tickets are 50% sold out for our event at the Revel. We're looking forward to being back in Texas as part of Rebel Scum Con Year 3. And don't forget, we are gearing up towards Star Wars Celebration 2027, which is 100% sold out. But remember, we're going to be running 3 events that week, including Boon to Eve 5, the VCN Strikes Back. So we're really, really stoked to see you all in Los Angeles next year. We look forward to seeing you in Texas. Jeff, do you want to say anything before we get out?
Just great having JJ here, whether he can hear me or not. It was awesome.
Yes. It's always a good show. And so, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. We will see you next time. And from all of us here, may the force be with you. And as we say in this universe, this is the way.
Yeah.